Here's 5 things I learned growing up in Fatima Mansions. Number 1, places like that produce the best of people and the worst of people. People like my grandmother would scrape half the food off her plate, give away all her cigarettes. She was the kindest, nicest, most decent person you'd ever meet. And that was because she had to survive through poverty. But poverty also produces people who turn to criminality and crime and turn on their own community. That brings me on to the second point. Growing up in Fatima Mansions, seeing the needles on the stairs would make you realise that you have to treat drugs as a health issue. If we don't look at the reasons why people turn to drugs, you're never going to solve the problem. And areas like Fatima Mansions will always suffer. Point number 3, when you grow up somewhere like Fatima Mansions, you know whose side the cops are on, and it's not the working class. They routinely harass working class kids even when they're up to nothing, just because they profile them for wearing a tracksuit. Fourth thing I learned is that when people are poor, they often vote for politicians who do them a favour. But the problem with that is we'll never get rid of Fianna Fáil and we'll never get rid of Fine Gael. We have to start thinking who actually represents the bosses and the landlords and who represents the working class, and vote for people who stand up for us. The 5th thing I learned growing up in Fatima Mansions is that nobody cares about the working class unless we organise and kick up a fuss. It's only through people power that we're going to change this country. We saw it with the tax marches in the 70s. We saw it again a couple of years ago with the water charges. It's only when we mobilise in large numbers that the establishment will listen to us. And if we mobilise in large enough numbers, we can kick out that establishment.